I've learned something too doing stand up. Two things. One, everybody gets offended if you tell them that they're not funny, no matter if they think they're funny or not. If you go, you can go to an old lady and be like, you know, you're the least funniest person I know. And if she's funny, she'll have a comeback. Right? Most of the time they'll get offended. And the second thing I learned was that oh shit, I just lost my train of thought.
Telling people they're not funny.
Yeah, telling people that are funny. First thing, you tell people everybody thinks they're funny. And the second thing is everybody gets offended if you tell them they're not funny. That's what it was. Everybody deep down thinks they're funny. And second thing, everybody will get offended if you tell them they're not funny. And that's what it made me think of when you said that to your son. Because I had a similar situation. Like my grandmother, I get a lot of my sense of humor from my grandmother. She actually watches South Park, and she'll call me like, "Ooh, did you see the new South Park episode?" And I remember when I first introduced her to it, it was funny, but it was obviously provocative, right? And it's one of those shows that makes you go, is a joke funny regardless of how provocative it is, right? And it touches you, hits you so many ways. Well, I showed a joke with my grandmother one time, man, and in her way, she basically said that it wasn't funny. And this was like in the earlier days. And it was kind of in a way, it was kind of like, how's your job going? You know, like kind of one of those things like, how's work been going for you, to kind of usher me in back to the place of like, you don't need to be working on jokes. You're not funny. So my question to you, was this early in your career stand-up, or was this like recently?
I mean, heck, that was probably like 2 years ago. So I still believe that I'm somewhat early in my career. I've been doing this now, I think 8 years. And so whatever that is for time's sake. But yeah, that was like probably like 2 years ago. My son was probably like 8 years old. He's 10 now. And I remember it was the weirdest feeling to be like, yo, I don't do jokes for kids, but I can. And so to flip, just to kind of bring it back, I ended up doing a show, and I would take them with me because whenever I had them for spring break or whatever, if I'm performing, they're with me. And I did a show probably in front of like a big crowd. And I looked on the side of the stage, backstage, but still side of the stage, out of view of the audience. And my son is sitting there watching. Like he's literally right next to the stage watching me perform. I'm up there for about 20 minutes, whatever. Wow. And it was the coolest thing ever because when I got off, he was just like, you were funny. And like the next time we come to a show, I don't want to bring a tablet. Like I don't have an iPad, I'm Android. I don't want to bring a tablet. I don't want to bring a phone. I don't want to bring a coloring book. I just want to watch you perform. And so ever since then, whenever I've had a show, he's always been there watching. And it's the craziest thing ever because I almost felt like it was a challenge. Like, because when that happened, I joked about it, but at the same time, I was like, dude, I'm telling these stories about them. They should at least find them funny. And so I started, I watched it was an interview with Damon Wayans. He talked about the jokes about his kids and how those jokes were paying for them to go to private school. And I was like, you know what? Make the jokes funny, but make sure they're true. And at least at the end of the day, you can look your kids in the face and you're going to tell jokes about them and be honest with them. And so that was kind of where I went from. And I feel like the joke that he said that wasn't funny was probably some bullshit that I just kind of pulled out of air. And so ever since then, a lot of the jokes have been a little bit closer to home. So
I think your son might be the next greatest, man. He got an eye.
Absolutely.
Jokes,
you see, he got an eye.
He got an eye already.
Talent.
Did
you end up telling that joke on stage or no?
Which one?
The one he said.
The one son said wasn't
the one
good.
he said wasn't funny? No.
Yeah.
That joke's gone. Yeah. It's like it might be a tag. I don't even remember the joke, but it's probably a tag if anything now. It's definitely not a main set piece anymore. And that did have a little bit to do with him, but then it also had to do with, you start thinking about feelings. And I have a 12 and a 10-year-old that have real opinions and real feelings about things. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to hide shit from them. I want to go on stage, perform. And then when I come off, if I have to have a real conversation with them afterwards, that's fine. But if I feel uncomfortable, it's because I wasn't doing my due diligence and said the joke. I mean, I'm going to say some shit like, we talk about favorites and all that stuff. But that's, you know, I think it comes from a place of reality. Go ahead.
Have you had to have a real conversation with them afterwards?
Yes. Like, oh my God, yes.
What sort of things
I did a show.
To get talked about?
I killed. Okay, let me say I don't talk like this. Okay, let me make it abundantly clear. I don't talk like this. I'm not one of those comics that go, I killed, I murdered. But I killed. I did great. My kids were there. My ex-wife was in the crowd. And I do a show, and at one point during the show, because where they were being kept was like literally right behind the performance spot, they came out, and I couldn't see them, but the audience's reaction, because I was talking about them, let me know my kids that came out kind of like stage left behind me or whatever. And I just kind of joked. I was like, you know, y'all don't even know this, but if y'all see some little black kids walking around here, I'm actually doing, I'm babysitting right now with my own kids while I'm performing for y'all. And don't get it twisted. If they leave that room, I'm going to tell them, get your butts back in. And when I did that, it scared them and it made them run back into the room. And after the show, people are coming to me telling me I did good. That was great. That was awesome. And then my son is crying. He's like super duper crying, but I know him when he's mopey. And I was like, hey, what's going on? He says, well, you made us, you embarrassed us when you told us to get back in the room, and everybody was laughing. And I was like, shit. Like it took me from I killed it to, man, at the expense of my kids, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do much more of that type of stuff. And so that was one of those things where I had to explain to him. I said, when I did it, I was trying to be funny. I was in the heat of the moment. But, you know, at the end of the day, he said, you know, you scared us. You made my sister feel bad. I didn't like that you made my sister feel bad. You embarrassed us. And so I was like, you know what? From now on, regardless if they're there or not, I'm not going to shit on them. I called it shitting on my kids for that, which is never fucking worth it, in my opinion. Like, for me, it's not. Some people can get away with it, do your thing. But I'll shit on myself for the laugh. And my kids will be just a part of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
I love that, man. I love that.
I killed it.
That's what you should have kept coming back to. You know, I'm sorry, but I killed it, though. Don't forget that. I was killing it, and then I might have stepped and shitted on y'all. Actually, yeah, man. That's big. That's a big moment. I think it's dope that your relationship with your kids and they're embracing your artistic nature. I think that's one of my goals for my children, is they are brought up in a house where their parents are actively pursuing and engaging in their dreams or their art, excuse me, so that they can, to me, it makes the world more palatable, you know, and allows you to express yourself. You get to communicate with the children in ways that you probably wouldn't have if they weren't there. And then you are communicating to your kids, whatever your dream is, follow it. Look at that. You know, I brought y'all here doing that. And I think that's awesome, man. So I'm glad you shared that with us. And you got to let us know when your son decides to do his first open mic.
Okay.
We cut to a courtroom. All right, Amici, I need to remind you why you're here. You're a witness to a murder. We understand that you had a good comedy show before you found the body, but please just stay focused on the details of how you found the body.
Okay.
We understand you had a good show. All right.
Right.
Cool. All right. So let's dial it back. You went backstage, and then what happened next?
Well, I went backstage, and people just patted me on the back. The crowd was still laughing. So I went back out onto the stage to get like another bow, and they gave me another standing ovation. And I felt really good in that moment, you know. I felt like I achieved something tonight. I achieved something that can we just get past of the standing ovation? We understand you had a good comedy show. I also want to say, use the word "killed" earlier. Probably not the best place to be using it, because it can confuse the jury. All right, so right,
yeah.
If I killed, they might think I.
Exactly.
Okay.
So to go back, sorry. You walked out of the green room, and then what happened next?
Then I walked out of the green room, and I heard these two people talking about what a great show I had, and that felt really good. So I walked like a little bit slowly by them so they could see me, and they stopped me, and we talked for a few minutes about just how much fun they had, and that they wanted to come back and see me again once I'm performing next.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection. I can't. I know I called this witness, but Jesus Christ, like
what?
Just get to the body. Get to the body. Jesus.
This is the one backstory for the body.
This is a trial. This is a murder trial. There's no fun backstory. This is just testimony.
Excuse me, cancel. Excuse me.
Oh,
is there? What exactly are you trying to get at with your line of questioning?
I just want him to go over the details of how he found the bodies, so we can establish where the evidence was and carry on with the case.
Okay, Michi, as you word, and go ahead and answer the guy's question. Please omit any hearsay. The phrase "killing" will be struck clear from the record. If it's not proven that you did indeed kill, we're going to go ahead and need you to refer to doing well or succeeding at getting the laughs. Sir, go ahead and carry on with the line of question. Yes,
wait, hold on. Your Honor, I did kill though. Like it was. It's
he did not kill anyone, Your Honor.
Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm Amichi's manager, and I want to say he absolutely killed that night.
Sir,
we just got 3 bookings right.
Sir, we're going to need to swear you in first. We're going to need to swear you in
first. We
don't
need to swear him in. We haven't called them up.
We need to know about this damage. Yeah,
whether or not he had a good show is not a object. Oh wait, you object.
I'm not supposed to object. Sorry, y'all object. Order in the court.
So can my manager come up now and confirm that I killed?
No, you did not. Did you murder anyone, Amici?
I murdered the crowd.
We're gonna have to have a recess. We're gonna have to have a recess because we need to really work this out, sir. You're free to go. Go ahead and don't go too far. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay. I think this video of it too. So.
We cut outside. Hey, Amici, look, we got 5 bookings since you started. Yes.
I knew it. There's some promoters in the jury, right?
There's some promoters in the jury. I was out passing flyers out, telling them the hottest comedian in town is right inside. You got to keep killing, dude. We got more bookings. We could probably get 10 bookings.
And scene.
Oh my God, I love y'all. Jesus Christ. Oh, that was so good. That was fun. We got 5 bookings. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.